Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review for the Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 14, the season finale. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you get anything out of the content. Now, child, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. When the episode first opens up, Candy is riding around and she getting it with her mini. You know, they singing some tunes. Baby, that is her twin. Do y'all hear me? So Drew is over there with her mama. She's saying that her Achilles is good and mama wants to leave. But Drew was like, no ma'am, honey, not yet. In the next scene, Kenya is talking to her team, right? And she's telling them that she has everything to fulfill those CVS stores. 5,000 CVS stores. When I tell y'all Kenya be working, honey, Kenya say, y'all ain't gonna She By Sheree me. Baby, y'all not finna play with me. In the next scene, Marlo goes to visit her protege, Sonia, and she brought the boys over so Ross could spend some time with them. So Sonia was like, she wants Marlo to know that she has a village. And I thought that was very admirable of Sonia and Ross to help the boys get some male one-on-one time. I like that. They're changing oil, they're changing tires, and Sonia got them these cute overalls. I thought that was so cute. So while they doing that outside, Sonia is asking about Marlo's mom and her being in town and staying with her and all of this. And she was like, yeah, girl, she ain't gonna be staying with me because last time she came in town, basically she was with the foolishness. So she will not be staying with me. So then Sonia was like, girl, guess what I'm doing? She was like, what you trying to do, have a baby? And she was like, girl, how you know? Here go Marlo. You taking your ABC out? What is it, your UTI? Girl, if she's taking out her urinary tract infection... I'm done. Not her UTI fool, her IUD. Girl, I'm not about to play with you. Anyway, so they talking. But besides all that, I am loving seeing Ross take the time out for these boys. Because despite what people feel about Sonia, that was cute. And that was really a great thing to do for those babies because that's going to be a core memory for them. That was everything to me. Seeing Ross dressed up in them overalls with those boys, I loved it. Moving forward, 1 week until the She By Sheree show. So she's meeting with Rawan, hey girl, and she's meeting with Tori. Now, if y'all don't know, honey, Tori is a fabulous, event planner in the ATL. Did y'all watch that show that her and her colleagues had? It was on VH1. It was like My Celebrity Dream Wedding or something. Baby, a Tori Williams event will give you the zhuzh, that should be given. And plus, she has her own event space. I could go on and on, honey, but she's really good, okay? Because, sometimes the Atlanta party planners, child, we've seen them. Y'all remember that circus act that Portia had over there when she was trying to do her gender reveal? And then last time Sheree had an event, it was a whole fool because the lady just dropped off the linens at the curb, honey, didn't even want to come inside. So she got Tori, so she doing something right. Venue, check. Anywho, Sheree was like, the venue is booked, but the pieces that I need, they aren't here. Sheree, I don't want to hear it. Okay? I don't want to hear it. You had all the time in the world. Why would you put the cart before the horse? If you ain't got no pieces, then you should not have been arranging no venue. Girl, goodbye. So Sheree is giving the same old speech about this is make or break it. If I don't do it this time, I'm going to have to bury this. Sheree, don't waste time speaking your speech. Go check on all this outsourcing that you're doing so we can get this show up and running. She was like in her confession, not a day goes by where somebody doesn't call me She By Sheree. And this is giving me the same feeling that I had 14 years ago. Now listen, y'all, I give Sheree a hard time, but it's because I want her to succeed. And I just feel like she lazy. I give her a hard time, but listen, if nothing else, Sheree will be iconic for She By Sheree, being or not being a brand. Andy literally asked everybody he comes in contact with, are you wearing She By Sheree? And to be honest with y'all, I really think because of Andy doing that, it was, instilled in our minds like She By Sheree, She By Sheree, She By Sheree. Because let's just keep it a buck. Yeah, we had She By Sheree season 1 and she had a fashion show with no fashions, okay? And that would have been the end of it. But when Andy kept it going, every single reunion, are you wearing She By Sheree? No, I'm not wearing She By Sheree. Sheree got let go, then she came back. Sheree, how's She By Sheree? It's like he kept on. So you know what that made me think of? That made me think of the fact that when you continuously say something and you brand yourself, you can brand yourself without having a product. I mean, i.e. Sheree. Child. Moving forward. In the next scene, Marlo flew in her mom. Baby Marlo said, "Oh, mommy, you look beautiful, but where your teeth?" Ma'am, okay? I'm not about to play with you. Leave your mama alone, asking her where her teeth at. They wherever they gonna be. Poor baby. She said she accidentally threw them away. Let me tell y'all something. My grandmother threw her teeth away twice. I was like, Grandma, now you gonna have to stop throwing them teeth in the trash. When you get ready to wipe your mouth, do not put your teeth in your napkin. Because see, that's what they do. They take them teeth out and put them in that paper towel. And therefore, and thus and such, honey, they gone. So anyway, they go to check out this store because her mom has a flea market. So they sit down to talk. And Marlo is telling her that, you know, she wants her to eventually be in Atlanta, but she needs to make sure she's off drugs and she's clean. And exactly, because you don't want to have to put that worry on yourself, and you want to make sure that everything is everything. So her mom was basically saying that she was upset that Marlo put them out the house because it's the house that she bought for them. But Marlo was letting us know that the house was not a place for anybody, really. The boys were there and the mom wasn't even there. She had been gone for days, and her nephews called and was like, "Please, can you come pick us up? Because, I mean, there's nobody here. And it's just not a place that is livable." So I understand why she took it from her, because you're not taking care of it. You don't care about it. So what are you keeping it for? Moving forward. 4 days until the show. So Sheree is still hunting for these pieces. Honey, I ain't got time. Moving forward. Kenya is at the CVS. Her products are now in stores. Baby, they done dug up Brandon. Hey, Brandon. I am so happy to see you. Baby, Brandon ain't been seen. You know, Brandon will come in and out, but he ain't really been seen, okay, since Pillow Fight, season 7. Baby, Brandon said, you know what? When Apollo cracked his ribs, he was done. He was like, you know what, girl? I'm going to come in and out as need be to support my girl, but I can't be on here like that. But you know what I appreciate about Brandon? I really appreciate the fact that he always supports Kenya. That is her tried and true friend for real. So Candy, Sonia, and Drew, they show up. Baby Drew boot scoop boogieing down this aisle. This is so major for Kenya. I am so proud of her. Congratulations to you, Kenya Moore Hair Care, for being in the CVS stores of it all and the Sally Beauty Supply of it all. And baby, Kenya doing a damn thing. And I appreciated the ladies actually showing up to support her. That was big of them. So they started talking about Charade's fashion show and how it went from 20 to 15 to 5. And y'all know what they remind me of, since, you know, this episode to me was straight nostalgia. Okay? It was straight nostalgia. I don't know if anybody else got it, baby, but I was smiling from ear to ear on this episode, especially the end. Now I know some people was like, well, this finale was boring. It wasn't to me. It was everything, because I am a true Real Housewives of Atlanta fan. So just to see the culmination of everything and everybody that was in the building, baby, that was just everything to me. But anyway, when she went from 20 to 15 to 5, that reminds me of when Cynthia was trying to tell Nene about Kenya's dating timeline with Mark. And Cynthia was like, well, you know, she been with him for at least 6 months. It has not been 6 months. Okay, well, at least 4. She was like, Okay, well, it has been at least 2 months. It went from 6 to 4 to 2. That was so funny to me. Now, honey, I don't know if I got the numbers right, but I remember Nene saying something along those lines vividly, honey, and that was funny to me. Moving forward. And as they're talking, Drew being so positive, she talking about, well, I mean, we're going to see something, and that's better than nothing. Oh, Drew, that's true. But baby, after 14 years, that is nothing, honey. It's giving nothing. So then Sonia was like, well, it may as well just be a party. Here go Drew. I hope not, because she don't like to pay for parties. She's still paying for pieces. That's why she can't pay for parties, honey. I love that they came to support Kenya, honey. I love it. In the next scene, Candy goes to the OLG. Candy and the gang. She goes to the OLG to visit a member of the gang, Mama Joyce. So they sit down. They start talking about Candy doing the estate planning with Todd. Honey, well, what's she say that for? Mama Joyce feels that what she had before the marriage should be in a separate trust, and Riley needs to be in the forefront because she never had a daddy. And Candy was like, well, what about Blaze and Ace? She was like, well, Riley never had a daddy. what does that have to do with them being equal? They're still all Candy's children. Like, what are you saying? Mama Joyce, don't say it like that, though. Please don't say it like that. Like, imagine how the other kids are going to feel hearing that. I feel like this should be discussed off camera, honey. No more discussing the trust and the kids on camera, honey. It's coming off a little hurtful. I don't want to hurt the kids, especially little sweet Ace and Blaze. They just so sweet. I don't want to talk about it, okay? Candy was like, if she's the first to go, then Todd can't remarry. I don't want you to marry. Baby, Candy said, Todd gonna have to sit there and twiddle his thumbs, honey. He can hang out, he can date, honey, but he is not remarrying because the heifers ain't getting nothing. And I can see Candy haunting you now. So, Todrick, not now piece of a woman shall you marry. Moving forward. In the next scene, Sheree is visiting the space yet again for a walkthrough. And she was like, this is the hottest ticket in town. Yes, it is. They want to see if the urban legend known as She By Sheree will actually be a thing. Yes, ma'am. So Rowan found actual models. Good job, Rowan. Because I would have hated to see you and Kenya get into it again. And I forgot your signature tag from last episode. Confetti. Charlie would have been a mess. So I'm happy they found some models. And here goes Sheree. I only have 5 pieces and I'm waiting on 19 more. So Rowan was like, listen, if it's anywhere in the U.S., I'm going to fly to them today and I'm going to go grab it. Now that's dedication. That is dedication because we know dang on well Sheree ain't paying for her ticket. Baby, I don't know how much Sheree is paying Rowan, but she a real one. So she said, are you going to help him finish them? Oh, baby, I couldn't work with she can't pay, honey. I wouldn't be able to work with her. If that's what you going to say after I said I'll go pick them up? Girl, goodbye. So Rowan is asking Sheree, do you think the show can be 15 to 16 minutes? Because if so, then that's a fashion show. But if it's less than that, then here goes Sheree. Well, then it's a preview and we don't need the runway. A preview is what we watch at the movies. We want a show. And Tori looking like, ma'am, I'm not ripping this runway up. So the work has been done and I need to be paid. Baby, Tori said, I am not ripping this runway up, honey. I don't care what you do, but the runway stays on the flow. So while they doing that, Tyrone comes pimp walking in this old Detroit player sweater. Sir, they let you travel today? Oh, okay. And why are you walking like your feet hurt? So in the confessional, here goes Sheree. Why is Tyrone walking in here like bruh man from the 5th floor? Well, you liked him, Sheree Ray. Honey, not to be confused with Shanae. So don't be talking about he brother man from the 5th floor now that you're mad at him. He been brother man from the 5th floor. And then the crazy part about it to me, y'all, is her daughter didn't even know who he was. Callie said, who is that? The producer said, that's Tyrone. She said, oh, he's short. I'm trying to figure out who knows Tyrone. The mama don't know Tyrone. The daughter don't know Tyrone. Baby, who knows him? Besides Sheree, Nene, he's a con artist. And all of us through the blogs. Child, this is a whole fool. So she's like, oh, so now you know how to pop up? He said, I'm off confinement now. So Tyrone claims he didn't know she was taping. She was like, what? So she's asking him if he came to apologize. And he was like, why would I do that? You were trying to send me back to jail. Tyrone, quit lying. You were probably laid up. And now that you can move around, you in Atlanta and the person you were laid up with probably think you're somewhere else. The non-apology would have done it for me, honey. He would have been toast. Don't come around here no more because I don't want nothing to do with you. She's like, well, I don't want you here. So while he's pretending to leave but not leaving, he runs into Apollo. Child, they got Apollo in this confessional. Why is Apollo getting a confessional? He on his way back in? Child, I hope not. So the producer said, so Tyrone said he didn't show up because it would be a parole violation. Apollo gonna say, that's not true. In subsection 32, it says everyone has a right to media contact or presence. Child. Baby, he was with Phaedra too long. Do you hear me? And not his title being not a legal scholar. When I tell y'all I hollered, I don't care what y'all say, baby. This episode was good to me, honey. You got to just really watch it and get into it. It was so good to me. But Apollo, go away from me with this, honey. Child, Tyrone still hanging around. Sir, go away. Take your leather pants and your lean on out the door. Child, he still comes. So Sheree was like, so you still don't have an apology for me? He was like, we should apologize to each other. Like, what did I do to you? Boy, goodbye. In the next scene, Marlo's mom goes to Le Archive with an E. And she's trying on some hats. And I thought this was so sweet. I don't know if anybody else caught it. Marlo said, well, the clothes, you can't really fit them. You're a little bit too skinny for them. I was like, oh, that's so sweet. She tried to make her mama feel good. I was like, that's sweet of you, Marlo. Anyway, so Candy is coming to meet her mom. Baby, that must have been some bomb KFC. Do you hear me? If the KFC in Jamaica is bringing Candy and Marlo together, we might need to send some to them when they start the wars and whatnot. Just send some Jamaican KFC over and see what we can get done. Because, baby, this right here, this is a mess. So Marlo and her mom, they're talking before Candy gets there, right? And Marlo said, you know, she wants them to be better. She doesn't want them to just call her for money. And her mom said, well, we've been wondering why you don't ever want to come around. The gifts don't mean nothing to us. Marlo said, okay, well, I'll stop doing that. She said her family sees her as a money tree, but when she say no, then she the bad guy. It really does be like that too. It's like I can't count on you for nothing. But y'all call me all the time, begging and bumming. And then the one time I say no, now I'm the villain. Oh, okay. Moving forward. So they're arguing back and forth and back. So Marlo was like, Mama, you the center of all these issues. So her mom said, well, you want to know what I said last night? And Marlo was like, well, I already heard what you said. She said, oh, because I had asked Crystal if I should ask you if I could bring my friend around here. So Marlo got upset. She's like, you been here for 3 days and you want to bring a man around, a man that's on drugs? Her mama said, he ain't on drugs no more. Ma'am, the fact that you have to say he ain't on drugs no more, he still ain't coming around. Okay? No, he's not coming around. She said, that's probably why I don't have a man now. Like, I wonder why you got to have a man so bad. So she felt as she was growing up that the attention was always on the man and not on her. But I'm going to have to stop you right there, Marlo. It's ironic to me that you're mad at your mom for wanting a man, but that's the first thing that you throw in Kenya's face whenever y'all get in an argument. That's why Mark don't want you. That's why you ain't got a man. If men are not that important, then why do you constantly feel like Kenya should have one? Y'all not understanding this. So as they're arguing, Candy walks in. And so Marlo steps out. You know, she wants to gain her composure. Candy handled that really well because, honey, it was very awkward. I was like, ooh, honey, she done walked into the mess. So Marlo comes back in. And her mom apologizes to her about making her cry. And she's like, I'm just not going to bring him around. Don't even worry about it. Baby, Candy showed up and they immediately knew to bring out the food. Baby, they know Candy get hangry. I'm talking about she wasn't sitting down 5 minutes, y'all. And that man came out with that food on a platter. Hand sanitizer and all. I said, yeah, honey, they know Candy don't play about that food. So Candy was asking her, you know, how long she had been on drugs and how old was the kids when she got on drugs. And she was just explaining that it started when Marlo was around 7. She was dealing with a lot and she just couldn't handle her trauma. So, you know, she turned to drugs. And Candy was saying in her confessional, you know, as much as Mama Joyce can be team too much at times, she knows she can count on her mama. And she would not trade her for the world. And seeing Marlo and her mom, that makes her appreciate her mom that much more. And I can understand that. So Candy was asking about them doing counseling together. And the two of them said that they would. And I sincerely hope so because I can tell that they both love each other. And her mom is trying, I feel. But, you know, that addiction is something else. That addiction have a stronghold on you, honey. But I have to say this about this scene. I truly enjoyed seeing this side of Marlo. I wish she would have given more of this side instead of using the boys for a storyline, which made everybody pissed. And then you just became unlikable throughout the season. Like, this humanizes you. So I feel like she should have shown more of this and less of that. Moving forward. It's the day of the She By Sheree fashion show, y'all. Ooh, it's about to go down. So it's the day of the fashion show and she's getting glammed up. And she was like, yeah, you know, it just feels so different than it did 14 years ago. It's just more riding on this. And today I have clothes. I don't think she know how that came off. But her saying, and today I have clothes, baby, that was funny to me. But let's get into it. So everything came in on time last night. Ooh, child, somebody prayed for her. All the clothes have made it. She has 24 pieces and then some. So the models, they're coming through the runway and everything, honey. They slipping and whatnot. Sheree, before the show starts, please secure that runway. Because I know you probably ain't got a lick of insurance. And if them people get hurt, you ain't going to pay it. So in the next scene, Kenya is getting ready for the show. And Brooklyn is like, can I go? Oh, my God. Brooklyn is so adorable to me. Baby, she ready to hit the town. Do y'all hear me, honey? She was like, can I go? And wear this dress right here is sparkly and pink, and I love everything about it. She makes me want to have a daughter just so I can ask for advice for my outings. Like, what should I wear? I mean, I ask my son, but most times, child, he be telling me jeans and some sneakers, honey. I don't want to wear it. I want to get my judge. I love Brooklyn. That was so cute. Every time I see Brooklyn and Kenya together, it just really makes me so happy for Kenya that she was blessed to have a kid. Like, I know the people feel how they feel about Kenya, but Brooklyn does something for me and for Kenya when I see them together. It just does something. So all the ladies are getting ready and people are starting to arrive. Honey, the guests are there. Everything's buzzing. Sheree still hasn't done her hair and makeup. Ma'am, we don't need CPT time, honey. Come on. Come on with it. Let's get it together. Let's get it together or leave it alone, honey. So they're all in front of the step and repeat. I see Deshaun Snow. Deshaun looks fabulous. Yes, Deshaun, give him shoulders, honey. Candy shows up and child Fatum got past security. And why did I hear barking noises when Fatum was there? Like, who is barking? Child, this is a fool. So Tammy and Bob, they arrive. Bob, I hope you on your best behavior tonight. Because 14 years ago, you made it the point to put down Sheree at that fashion party that she had back then. And child, I ain't gonna never forget when Tammy went to Miami with them and ended up in the hospital, child. When she showed back up with them hospital socks on because her nephew had knocked her to the floor because he was trying to get to Kenya. That is one of my favorite episodes of all Housewives episodes. I don't care what nobody say, honey. You can go up against some of the best. That episode right there is good to me. But anywho, hey y'all. So then Kenya shows up looking gorgeous. Baby, that dress was melted on Kenya. When I say melted, she looked so good. So then Drew and her bedazzled boot, they arrive. Hey girl. She arrived with her husband Ralph. And then Sonia and Marlo, they arrived. Everybody looked beautiful. Everybody looked so good. Everybody was in good spirits. It was just good. So they started talking about whether or not Tyrone is coming and if he gonna be showing up and whatnot. And we already know Marlo got the tea. Honey, she done seen him, picked out his suit, his shoes, everything. She already know. So Tyrone goes slithering up the stairs in his zoot suit and his Air Force Ones so I can get to stomping in my Air Force One. I said, baby, what is these little shoes? Oh, honey, what are those? Oh, Charlie had them little shoes on, honey. Oh, honey, put your shoes on. Oh, Charlie, this is a mess. So he brought Sheree some flowers. She was like, thank you very much. These are so nice. So in her confessional, she was like, oh, y'all see Lyrone is in the building. And I guess this is his way of apologizing. Look, this look like he got these from the grocery store. He couldn't get you nothing better, honey. He spent it on his suit. And he just got out. You know he probably been in a halfway house, honey. He ain't got no job. Moving forward. But the funny thing about that was those price tags at the bottom. I said, child, not $14.99. So he also gave her mom some flowers. Baby, when he handed that mama them flowers, she said, huh? Oh, thank you. Who is this? Sheree said, Tyrone. Mama still looking like, doesn't ring a bell. Here goes Sheree. Prison Bay. Baby, this is a whole fool. This introduction is a fool. You know how people be trying to jog your memory about somebody? You know Misha. You know the one that be doing YouTube all the time and she always got something to say. You know her. That's the way she was introducing Tyrone. Prison Bay. Girl, at your big grown age, you are introducing this man as Prison Bay. And the fact that don't nobody know how he look? Child, this is crazy. Anywho, back outside at the step and repeat, baby Dwight shows up to his very own soundtrack. When I tell y'all know I love a good sound break. And baby, this is a bop. A fashion show with no fashions. A fashion show with no fashion. A fashion show with no fashions. Fashions. How dreadful. A fashion show with no fashion. A fashion show with no fashion. Baby, I was in here getting my when I tell y'all, I was in here voguing and everything. Baby, I even did a death drop. I said, baby, fashions. Baby, it was giving everything. I said, baby, not the remix. Oh, honey. It was giving me one of the Marquis remixes. Y'all know how he be doing all over Instagram and the TikTok. I hope that's his name, child. But yes, that's what it was giving me. And baby, that was good to me, honey. I was like, yes, a fashion show with no fashion. And I have to say, Dwight looks great. He is aging gracefully. I think that facial hair is doing something for him. Come on in and sit down, Dwight. So Sheree was like, you know what? Of all the people, I had to have Dwight Eubanks in the building because he said 14 years ago that I had a fashion show with no fashions. So I had to make sure that he was one of the first people I sent an invite to. I know that's right, girl, trying to prove him wrong. So Tyrone comes back downstairs. He goes over to speak to the ladies. Tyrone, go have a seat, okay, in the back. We saw your suit. You ain't got to be twirling around, honey. You've gotten more than enough camera time. Have a seat. He was like, yeah, I'm off the ankle monitor now. We don't care. We don't give a damn. Go have a seat, sir. Now we are half an hour late, okay? The fashion show was supposed to start a half an hour ago. Child, they feet hurting. They playing musical chairs to get a seat. So Sonya went to get her own chair, right? Here go Marlo. Girl, I'm training you well. Not you gonna high five Marlo to her saying she trained you. Girl, you trained puppies. Moving forward. So Peter got this part right here, y'all. Oh my goodness. So Peter goes over to speak and he hugs Kenya's neck, right? She was like, your pants are undone. Your fly is open. Your pants. And baby, he scurried away. Kenya looked at Sonya. She said, child, Peter high as a kite. He ain't heard nothing I said. Baby, that was so funny to me. I said, not Peter being high. Oh, honey. We are now 2 hours late. Sheree, I would have stayed just because I'm nosy. But under normal circumstances, girl, you cannot have people waiting for 2 damn hours. Like, girl, what is wrong with you? And you know Dwight, he gonna be Dwight. He's like, this is crazy. I'm ready to go. Honey, I guess she said y'all waited 14 years. 2 hours ain't gonna kill you. And I saw Mel the Stallion from Bell Collective is there. Hey, Mel. Child, not the crossover. Child, Sheree hanging with everybody over on OWN. Okay, if you know, you know. This show has everybody who's anybody in the building. It's giving me Ghost of Housewives seasons past. We got everybody from Apollo to Peter to, I saw Deshaun Snow. I'm sure Lisa Wu was in the building. I mean, it was just so many Housewives alum. Like, it was giving all-star. I loved it, baby. I loved seeing that. So the show is finally starting. And the man in that tan number, baby, when he came down that runway, baby, baby, he was looking good. Had the ladies losing their mind. Baby, Kenya stood up and everything like, get a look at this. Baby, get a look at this, honey. He was handsome, though. So then Apollo came out. In the confessional, Kenya said, yeah, I'm gone. Goodbye. I know that's right, honey, because you don't want them to. Let me tell y'all something. If they would have played Apollo's kind of fine, I would have fell out. I would have fell out. But I have a question. Why is Apollo wearing this orange reminiscent of a prison jumpsuit? Why? Just why, child? And you know what I was wondering about this? Why didn't Cairo model in the fashion show? You got a modeler as your son. But anyway, maybe she just wanted some fresh faces. And I'm telling y'all, I saw a few pieces I would rock, honey. I was waiting for that website to pop up at the end of the show. But yeah, it was a no-go, honey. It was crashed. Moving forward. Okay, Sheree, I have to say I have absolutely nothing to say, honey. She did that. Okay, she did that. I'm so proud of you. Shout out to Drake. Baby Sheree does her final strut down the runway. All the ladies were so hyped. They were rallying around her, throwing roses on the stage. Really just encouraging Sheree and hyping her up. And that really made me smile. I'm not gonna lie, I was smiling from ear to ear because as much as Sheree gets on my central nervous system, okay, it really was great to see her actually complete the task. Like, it was great. And I'm happy to see a fashion show with fashion. Ooh, child. So as they're all rallying around her, Sheree asked them to walk the runway one time. First up is Sonya, and it says, Sonya removed her IUD and is actively trying for another baby. She hasn't uninvited anyone lately, but don't try her. Try, please. Moving forward. Next up is Candy. I am your girl, Candy, and I'm about to speak on it. Every time I see Candy, I think about that. Candy and Todd haven't finalized their trust. She is producing another Broadway play, The Piano Lesson with Samuel L. Jackson. Honey, she don't skip a beat or a bag. Next up is Drew. Hey, girl. Drew, I'm telling you right now, if you slip and fall, I am officially done with you, and I'm not playing with you. Some things you gonna have to sit out. but Drew is a good sport and she shimmied on down the runway, honey. And it states that Drew is working on her fitness and her marriage, and Ralph's new baby is his book, and it's soon to be due any day. Is Ralph a housewife? Oh, and Drew still ain't ready. Child, moving forward. Next up is Marlo. She's breaking ground on the Hamptons 2.0 soon. And I guess I'm confused because I thought she already broke ground. Didn't she visit with the contractor? Maybe she visited for the plans but didn't break ground? I don't know, child. The math wasn't mathing to me, but honey, maybe I'm wrong. Her journey for self-development is still continuing and her edges continue to flourish. Child, I don't know who is writing. Okay, lately, the Housewives wrap-up lines have been really lackluster. Her edges are flourishing. That's what y'all got? Okay, moving forward. Next up is Kenya. Her and Brooklyn spent the summer twirling in Europe, and her Mary Kay wig cannot fly internationally. Ooh, honey, thank the Lord, child. Leave that thing at home. Sheree walks the runway one last time. It says that she no longer calls Tyrone. She has a new boo. Child, no comment. And the VPL has become a visual jogger line because it's actually available for purchase. And that was the season finale. The finale really had me smiling from ear to ear, especially how they all ended on a high note, even though we know it ain't gonna last because they're gonna get to the reunion and get to fussing back and forth and back. But it was good to see them getting along. And that was the end of the season. I enjoyed this lighthearted season, even though it did have its moments where it could have caused a little bit of divide with the Housewives fanatics. All in all, I really enjoyed, reviewing this season. It was a pleasure. And I will catch y'all at the reunion. Y'all comment down below and tell me what y'all thought about all of the Housewives people popping up at Charade's fashion show. Did you enjoy the fashions? Would that be something you would wear? Let me know down in the comments so we can get into it as we get into it. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.